Welcome back, people, to Let's Play Tyranny. It's been a while since the last recording, not that you would know, because I discovered the scheduling feature on YouTube. So now I get to drip feed you one episode every day, and that's what I'm planning to do. So today's recording day. Unfortunately, I've caught a bit of a cold over the weekend, but I think it's alright. A little bit of gruff is to be expected. Let's actually stop by the Northern Spire, because our trainer should have showed up by now. So we'll wanna talk to him. I think we got some training points saved up. And I don't know if the trainers at the beginning limits you to 45 or if it's something else. Or if these guys have the same thing. Let's see here. This is Tanara. You see a bronze-clad woman in meticulously maintained attire. The leather buckles in her chestplate show fresh oil, and the scales in her armor have been neatly arranged. She gives a quick bow as you approach. Fatebinder. Vendrian Guard Wrath 3. Alright. Her expression is neutral, and her tone is one of forced cordiality. I am here to serve as requested. Though the apex of old is no more, I am ready to help you find its new place in the tiers. So, you need my instructions in matters of combat, I will assist. Have you been in Apex all your life? Yes, proudly. There is no greater duty than to serve your country. Apex's challenges are many, and they are rarely addressed abroad. This valley has been assaulted time and time again. What would have remained had we abstained from vigilance? Right, okay. That didn't make sense to me at first. I'm sorry about that. What's your approach to training? Instilling resolve, first of all. We need all-purpose. We all need purpose for the fights ahead, unless you know why you bleed on the battlefield. It will be all too easy to succumb to fear and pain. And discipline, most of all. The Guardian, the Guard received hothead recruits all the time. They would all be dead if they charged every time their blood boiled. I see. Let's train. Yeah, she can teach me up to level 75, which is excellent, because that means we train two-hand. Good. So we're almost maxed out on her teaching us two-handed. Well, that's good. For Barrack, we'll learn one hand. I think it's more important for Barrack to learn his attack skills first, because, well, he can make use of parry a lot more than the other ones because he's getting hit a lot. His ability to hit himself will help him maintain threat longer. Now, let's see here. She can't teach bow, unfortunately, for Verse, but Verse should be able to learn dodge, because that will account as both parry and dodge for her, so that's nice. Lantry, I don't think there's anything we want him to learn other than, like, lore. Let's save the training for that. Let's see if I can go into my Spire. And, right, Spire upgrades. Let's see here. Anyone who teaches lore? Unfortunately not. Isolon. Skill trainer teaches one-handed parry and athletics, and he's 20 bronze rings. This guy here is 5, and he teaches more skills. Why is that, I wonder? Fatebinder Kesper. Oh yeah, he's a respec guy. Oh, we don't need that guy. Alright, I think we'll save Lantry's skill points then. Till next rest. Alright, well... So we still have the skill bonus here. Let's head towards Iron Hearth, which is where we want to go. That's the disfavored stronghold. Oh, we have another random encounter. Let's see. Encounter inventory as well. Your progress is arrested by the appearance of a gang in crimson and leather who round the corner ahead of you. Oh shit, Verse mutters. The ass gang. The ass gang. What the fuck is it? She shrugs all your questioning She shrugs at your questioning glance. I ran with them for a bit. You know, it is you approach, weapons at ease. The foremost gang member raises a hand in greeting. The ass gang attack the gang. Come on, I gotta find out more. We'll hail the gang. You raise your own hand in response, greeting the approaching gang. The leader's head is half shaven and half a pale sickle of a scar curves down her cheek. And okay, the leader's half shaven and a pale sickle of a scar runs down her cheek to the corner of her thin lips. Fatebinder, she says, bowing her head slightly. Verse, her tone is cold, eyes narrowed at your Scarlet Fury's compatriot. We don't care much for the slippery loyalty of law dogs. Mutts can't help but nip at their betters. Chuckles from the other members of her gang. But Verse, she betrayed the chorus, and that demands a scalp. I'm sorry, Verse answered. I'm flat out of spare scalps, clever ass. The one you're using will do nicely, another member of the gang says. Verse looks at you. I want to fight, and I'm happy to oblige. You're a callbinder. Fight them with Verse. I'll attempt to intimidate them. I don't want to lose Verse if I don't have to. Right. You step between the gang and Verse, your head going to your weapon. You remind them of your rage and anger at Vendrian as well. Your actions during the conquest, the widows you left crying, the orphans you left alone. Of your choicest sins, you ask them if they truly want to delay a Fatebinder of Tunon, the adjudicator, or an insignificant matter of pride. By the time you finish, they've all backed up a pace. With the final glare of Verse, the choirmen step out of the road and let you pass. Verse frowns. I could have handled that, you know. Chastise Verse for causing trouble. Yeah, she probably could. I would have reasoned with her if I could have. Just said that, listen, we don't fight if we don't have to. But, we'll just move on. Oh, Verse nods at you. The two of you continue your journey. Alright, so we gain Wrath with the Scarlet Chorus. The Ass Gang. I didn't get to ask why they're called the Ass Gang. Can I talk to Verse now? Verse.
Fatebinder. Always a pleasure.
Verse sizes you up with curiosity. When her assessment is done, she laughs to herself, shaking her head.
What do you need?
Okay, fuck you then. What's with the Ass Gang? Learned a thing or two about fighting the Scarlet Chorus. Care to duel?
That would be an understatement, and I thought you'd never ask.
Cool.
Since you're obviously at a huge disadvantage, I'll let you pick our weapon of choice.
Dual wielding knife or bows? Well, how about a big ass sword? I guess she doesn't want that, huh? All right, let's try with bows.
If you want
Target
to risk
practice.
becoming a pincushion, it's your funeral. But you're right about one thing. This will be fun.
Oh yeah, you take turn losing blunt arrows, using each other as moving targets. Versus an accomplished runner and swats away a few projectiles, gets close out of the air. When her turn arrives, it takes all your energy to keep up with her relentless volley of projectiles. You observe her technique and take valuable lessons to heart.
You held your own. Call me impressed. Need anything else, or did I tire you out?
Oh baby, I could go all night. We'll speak later. Since you won't tell me about the Ass Gang. Alright. That's nasty. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. There's stuff around the camp also. Ooh, hidden stuff. Bronze dagger.
Yes.
Send that to verse for now. Forge's calling. What is this? Is that a staff? Plus 10 control life and regenerate. Oh my god. Oh my god. This staff of tree branches oozes rejuvenating sap. Ioja's calling was held by the hierarch of the short-lived school of muddled bark, a collection of mages who turned their backs on civilization and studied in the isolation of remote forests. It is suspected that disease or misfortune ended their legacy, since all that remains of them are abandoned items, scraps of indecipherable lore. Hold your horses. Let's give that to Lantry there. He has his quill, which has a sigil of life on it. But I think we want to do this, actually. And he can equip something in his offhand there. Do I have like a buckler or... I got the disfavored shield, but that one is kind of... That one's kind of big. I want to give him something, I don't know. A bit more suited, I guess. Oh yeah, there's a trickster tooth. Let's compare. Right, this thing here has quickening on crit minus recovery time. I don't know if he'll crit all that much. I suppose he can dual wield. That's kind of badass. And he has this thing here that can that can help him out. Let's see what this thing here does compared to these. Imperial. Okay, so it's a little bit better. It loses armor penetration though, but it does have better accuracy. I don't know. Let's compare the bows as well. Tearsman hunting bow and the Vendrian bow. They're the same. Alright, we'll put it in the stash. Welcome to Iron Hearth. Thank you very much. Spiked iron helm. Alright. Guess we're throwing it in the stash. Let's talk to Alcos. Greetings, Fatebinder. Alcos, 38 Legion. Soldier salutes. Glad to see the Tunon's agent grace Iron Hearth. Ash's troops has no lack of order, but servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment for conversation. Do you need something from me? Tell me about the Scarlet Chorus lieutenant. Seems our troops have this little maggot of a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant corner over at Cato village. From what I'm hearing, is the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans for the past few weeks. If I wasn't already handling something for Ash, I'd skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. Alright, I'll handle it. Good of you to pitch in. No one will mourn the loss of one more chorus rat. Marks the locations on your map. I have questions before I go. Not a problem. What do you need? Where were you during the conquest? You could say I've seen the tiers from top to bottom. I dug latrines in our encampment with the court at the Gates of Judgment. And then my promotion sent me to Lethian's Crossing. Got a few rows in with the Bronze Brotherhood. Not a pretty sight. Alright, tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. The Bronze Brotherhood is a mercenary company from the free cities dotting the tier's southern coast. Many of these mercenary companies were employed by Kairos' agents and slaughtered during the war. Okay. The Bronze Brotherhood survived thanks to their relatively safe posting at Lethian's Crossing, where the Voices of Tanara hired the company to help protect the town's forge operation. Among the most trained and dedicated warriors of the tiers, the Bronze Brotherhood have a reputation for ruthlessness and tenacity. Aggressions and decisive thinking are so highly prized in the Brotherhood that the violent, enigmatic scourge of the group's mascot, a creature most decent folk consider to be the stuff of nightmares. Let's see. Oh, right. Scourge is a dude. Alright then. That makes sense now. The term brother is used for mercenaries of both genders, as the company's title harkens back to the archaic notion of living as men. In Tyr's custom, this amounts to releasing all claims to land, to better assure that the employer that the Brotherhood won't covet the realms they're paid to protect. Oh, I see. That's interesting, actually. Let's see. Then I had a brief deployment in Apex, but the fighting was winding down around the time I arrived. After I did a tour of Stalwart, I got transferred out before the edict tore everything apart. Lucky. Barricade, not so much. Tell me about your home in the north. I hail from Balmywell, a small hamlet far west of Kairos' capital. It's nothing glorious, but I can trace 6 generations back there, so it's home. I hope to return there someday, with a heap of tales, rings, and renown. Once Gravenage gave me favor and recruited me into the army. My family went from respectable farmers to elite folk, better regarded and respected than damn near anyone. They must be doing well for themselves. How'd you join the disfavored? Ahead of the conquest, Gravenage sent recruiters to all outlying towns looking for worthy talent. The village held a tourney and melee to demonstrate our local muscle. Nothing fancy, mind you. It was mostly fighting on bay hails with wooden spears. I had the distinction of toppling even the biggest contender. A familiar tale, one after my own heart. Barrack nods with respect. It's a good thing I succeeded. I'm more useful to Kairos on the field of battle than a field of wheat. Yeah. Cool. So we got a quest. That's not too bad. Also, we got Halfway's Dead and Alfonsa. Let's speak to Halfway's Dead. Or Alfonsa. I guess they're both one thing. In game terms. The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Chorus fighter. Consider it. Not for a second. We pick our soldiers from the elite northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave. Are the disfavored so narrow-minded? My gang's strength delivered us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen comrades in our wake. Fallen enemies in our wake. Right. Not many conscripts can say the same. Question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breeding, your training, and your pedigree. Noticing you, the Iron God salutes. Hail Gravenage, Fatebinder. If I might take a moment of your time. What do you need? This person comes representing a Scarlet Chorus gang. What did you call yourself a gang? The Ass Gang? No. Let's see. The Grinning Bleeders. You have a long and storied reputation in the Scarlet Chorus ranks. Killers of the highest order, my gang. He puffs out his chest with pride. Before I was boss here, I ran with the broken shits, the salted nightmares, and the trap gang. Oh, Jesus, that sounds tricky. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. You made up at least two of those gangs and don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot, you little pissant. Pissant, right. One of his eyebrows snaps up at attention. Verse, so kind of you to chime in with your corrections. In any case, he's asking to join the disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained the numerous reasons why we can't allow it, but the wretch won't listen. Is that accurate? It is. We're not looking for special treatment, just a new beginning. Seeing as we're healthy, fit, and combat ready, the Ironclad should have no reason to refuse us. He sniffs, especially since they're low on numbers. That may be true, but is no excuse to pollute our respectable ranks with your company. We're more than capable. Put any weapon in our hand or send us on a suicide mission. It is mercy compared to what we faced under the voices of Narat. That much is true, at least. There is something to be said for a general who isn't going to gut you in your sleep because it suits him, suits his flair for the artistic. Okay. Those are the first fair words I've heard you speak about General Ash. Perhaps you're coming around. Then you can count them on being the last. Your overfull midden pile. If we joined up, the disfavored wouldn't have to compromise their staunch northern morals. Right. We would take the bloody work off their hands. Well, that seems practical. Do you want me to decide the matter? You must know Kairos' law back to front. I trust you know our traditions as well. If it peels this lamprey off my backside, I will allow it. Speaking for my gang, I will accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsman's skulls with Kairos' army again, no matter what color they wear. Let me take your testimony first. Of course, we have nothing to hide. Why can't the recruits join the disfavored? Most of us would rather swallow our tongues than to take order from some rigid officer who talked his way into leadership. But to each their own. Where do I start? Not only does Graven Ash handpick his disfavored from the decorated northern stock. Oh, this is a female, I didn't realize. He takes a personal interest in our training and education. We're his sons and daughters. To accept anything else in our ranks hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they would serve would be manual labor, hauling wagons or digging latrines, but that's the work of slaves, and not what they've come requesting. Why the interest in the disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. Right, we want to serve Kairos to the best of our abilities. Is that asking so much? Old Ironclad here seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired. Suppose so. Why'd you leave the chorus? Our old gang boss fell at the last battle of Vendrian's Well. We saw how the disfavored operated and realized it was a chance for a better life. A longer one, too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Chorus. I can tell you that we won't be missed. He says that like he's boasting. Only the shithill recruits who never made a name for themselves are overlooked at muster. Right. What is my help worth? I don't think Roland is looking for pay for this. It's just his duty, I guess, to resolve disputes. Alright, I'm ready to make my ruling. Good. Whatever's fair, we're prepared to stand by it. Alright. Yes, you can. Abandon your duties. Execution is the only recourse. Holy shit. Second thought, allow me to consider my question. Okay. Is that really? God, they did desert, didn't they? They too are oath breakers. Well, shit. That's not the result I was hoping for. I'm sure. Yeah, I think so. You abandon your duties. Execution is the only recourse. Loyalty with verse, wrath with the Scarlet Chorus, favor with the disfavored. No better or worse than the chorus would have granted him. At least you're consistent. What? Who said that was an option on the table? Tunon does not tolerate desertion, and neither do I. Gained wrath with blood and mark. Right. My thanks, Fatebinder. I'll make sure this derelict is handled appropriately. Be sure that you do. You have my permission to hunt the rest of the gang as well. Yes. To be sure. The officer nods with enthusiasm. One gang cut off from the rest of the mob should make easy enough hunt, and my archers are in desperate need of target practice. Well, good. Let's see if we can open this, and we could. Elixir of Resolve. So Resolve +1. Hold on. This heady Elixir of Resolve increases the imbiber's readiness to tackle physical and mental challenges. Forest-bound artists rely on deep concentration and willpower to maintain a link to their craft, where the slightest interruption could prove fatal. Though masters of the art are more experienced, apprentices often look to the outside resources when they want to practice in a safe environment. This does not have a timer on that. And we'll put the gem over there, I suppose. So, hold on. Now I have +2 resolve, so we're at 19. It's gonna take me 2 points to increase resolve. So, here's what I want to do. Use. Ooh. Sorry about that. Yeah. Elixir of Resolve, +1 resolve. And it does not appear to be... Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be, Oh, joyful. Alright, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, so it's just a permanent thing, I guess. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. Let's speak to this guy here, Ironwalker. Oh. He doesn't have much to say.
Interesting.
More hidden shit. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We got some alchemy supplies. Those are nice. Osmia is over there. Production of new potions isn't keeping up with demand. Many of these bottles remain empty. Bronze ingot and hide. Well, thank you so much. I'll be sure to keep that safe. And we got some blood mass as well, now that we need it. Let's see, Osmia, Zephylos. I'm thinking this might be a good time to end the episode. I need to get myself some coffee, because I'm struggling a bit with reading. Nothing new there, you know. But, you know. No reason to make it worse on you than it has to be. I'll brew myself up a cup of coffee and see where that takes me. Alright, thank you so much for watching another episode of Let's Play Tyranny. Hope to see you guys next time. And yeah, so long.